I knew something was really wrong now is when they started calling everybody. How y'all doing today? Which day of the week again it is? It's Wednesday and I'm at my other job. I'm working by myself, so why waste the time when I can give you guys a little story time? So what my story time is gonna be about today is labor and delivery in Jamaica versus America. I think I did a video on this already, but I'm gonna be more detailed in this one. Why not just tell you about my experiences in Jamaica? I want to share it with you guys. If you guys like it and you have had similar experiences, feel free to comment down in my comment section and let me know. If you all follow this channel, you would know by now that I'm the mother of 4 children. 2 of my children were born in Jamaica. Last 2 kids, they were born here. So my oldest one, that was my first pregnancy. I found out I was pregnant when I was like 3 to 4 months. Guys, this is unbelievable. How you gonna be pregnant and not know? Well, I'm a prime example of that. I was pregnant, still having my monthly, still acting normal, still feeling normal, and did not know I was pregnant. And guys, the most important thing was I was on birth control. I was on the pills. I don't know what happened. I think maybe I missed one. I don't know. But I conceived and did not know it. You know who told me I was pregnant? A friend of mine. When I was younger and back home in Jamaica, I would eat dinner. After I would eat, if I was wearing a pants or a skirt, I would pull the buttons, you know, to let my stomach be free after I eat. After you eat, you're bloated and everything, and I would just pull when I have a pants, I would pull the waist, or a skirt, I would just pull the waist. So one day I had dinner and I, like normal, pulled the waist of my skirt. And my friend, she was older than I was. She said to me, "Michelle, come here. You look pregnant. You have this line in your stomach that is not supposed to be there unless you're pregnant." I don't notice my body, which is a bad thing to do. We should all notice changes in our body, know what our bodies look like, and identify the changes when you see them. I didn't notice that my belly had a line in it. She looked, she said, "No, this don't look right." She said, you missed your monthly?" I said, "No." She said, "Let me see your boobs." And I showed her, and she said, "This don't look right. It's darker. It's not supposed to look like that." She said, "Go to the doctor and check up." And guys, to my surprise, I went to the doctor the following day. The doctor did not even have to do a pregnancy test at first to confirm that I was pregnant. All he did was examine me, saying, "Yeah, most definitely you're pregnant and it's big enough." Anyways, guys, to cut a long story short, I wasn't too happy at first. I was 25 years old. My life wasn't where I wanted it to be, so I definitely was not ready for children. But I accepted the fact I was pregnant after about 4 or 5 months, and then I carried on with my pregnancy. And I had a very easy pregnancy because, mind you, after when I found out, I was already almost halfway. Anyways, guys, I don't know why I'm nervous to tell you guys the story. I'm just gonna just let it flow. I carried on with my pregnancy, had a very good pregnancy. I wasn't sick. I didn't have morning sickness, night sickness. I didn't have cravings. I was doing everything like normal. So until it was time for me now to go into labor. Anyway, I remember that specific evening when I was going to labor, I had a very extra big appetite. I was just eating non-stop that day. Then up in the night, like about 9 or 10. So I remember having that bad cramp in my belly, and I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. So anyways, I went, and when I peed, I see like blood coming, and I said, what is this? I don't know, but I knew enough to know that something was wrong. Anyway, I told my kid's dad, I said, I see some blood coming from there. He's inexperienced too, so he kind of didn't know what to do, but he knew something was not right. And my belly was hurting, like hurting, stopping, starting, stopping. It was doing that. So anyways, where I lived, we could walk to the hospital because I lived in the city at that time. So I walked there. It wasn't bad that we had to take a cab or anything, so we just walked. When I went there, guys, the only place he could go was to the door. When we got there, they said he could not come in. I had to go in by myself. So I said, okay. I was sad because, you know, going through this for the first time and you're gonna do it alone. It was scary. It was frustrating to know that he couldn't come in with me. Nobody could come inside with me. Anyways, guys, I went inside. Mind you, I had taken my shower prior to coming to the hospital. But when I went there, the nurse, she said, go take a shower. She showed me where I should put my stuff, and then she said, take a shower and come back to a specific room. I did just that. I went where she directed me to go, and I guess this is time for me to labor now. Guys, I'm feeling pain I never felt in my life before. My belly was just contracting, starting, stopping, easing, coming. Nobody's paying any attention to you guys. They would just check you occasionally and send you to sit back down on a bench. And I did just everything that they told me to do. And all night I was sitting there, guys, laboring, feeling the pain. It's coming on strong. I'm crying my eyes out. I'm in pain. I'm on the floor. I'm on the bench. I'm walking up and down, doing everything to ease the pain. Guys, I'm talking about it like it was yesterday. Anyways, all night I was going through that pain. There's nobody to help you. Guys, I'm from Jamaica, and I never traded it for the world, for anywhere else, but trust me, they need to do better with pregnant women. Overall, in the medical field, they need to do better. But specifically, right now, I'm talking about moms that's going through labor. At that time, I don't know if it changed or not, because I had 2 kids in Jamaica and it was 2 bad experience. I'm talking about the first one now. all night going back and forth. Somebody would occasionally check you. Oh, go sit back on the bench. You can't sit. I was back and forth, walking, bawling, not even crying, like bawling, guys. I said, God, please help me. I just want it out of me. Anyways, at one point during the night, I felt like I had to go. They told us, don't go to the bathroom no matter what. That's all they told us, but nobody was watching us. They just tell you, don't go to, if you feel like you have to use the toilet, don't go. I was in so much pain and I didn't know what to expect, so I felt like I had to go. So I got up and I went to the bathroom, guys. I sat on the toilet. Then I started feeling like I had to push. And I started pushing. And then I realized something don't feel right. It's not coming from the back, it's from the front. And I got up off the toilet, guys, and I said, oh, and this is how I'm walking. Because I know now that something is wrong. The baby, I was pushing the baby out in the toilet. Anyway, I got up in pain and I rocked myself with my legs like this because I know something was wrong. I rocked myself to the room that I'm supposed to have the baby. When I went in there, those beds were tall. You see how short I am. So me in all this pain, I didn't know I should take the baby's clothing from the bag and put it in the bassinet. I didn't do that. I wasn't thinking, I didn't know, nobody told me. And we weren't in a room by ourselves. We were sharing rooms with other people. So I didn't want to just expose my stuff out. So I was in pain and I walked like that until I reached the bed. And I kind of jumped up on the bed, guys. I don't know how I did it, but I got up there. Anyways, when I went up on the bed, the pain is coming. Mind you guys, I'm laboring for 17 and a half hours at this time now that I'm telling you. Anyways, I know now at this point that the baby was coming. I didn't know what to do because, guys, in Jamaica, we didn't go to no class to prepare us of when to push, we didn't. So I didn't know what to do, what to expect. So I jumped up on the bed and I lay down and the pain is coming now, guys. The pain coming, unbearable. And I remember this mean nurse walked into the room and she said, the baby's coming. She said, where's the baby's clothes? And I said, they're in the bag. She said, get yourself off the bed and go take your baby's clothes out of the bag. Put them in the bassinet and climb back up on the bed. Guys, I've never seen someone so cold in my life. And she was an older lady too. She wasn't no 20 or 30-year-old person. This lady, remembering back now, maybe in her 50s or 60s. Mind you guys, for you all who have kids and have normal birth, think about that. Think about you being in pain and somebody telling you to jump down from a bed. Because I had to jump because the bed was high. There was no step stool. There was nothing. So I did what she said because I didn't want her to mistreat me. So I got off the bed, got the baby's clothes, went back on the bed, and you know the rest, guys. She just told me, push, you know. Not like she wanted to be there. It was the mercy of God that delivered my baby, not this nurse, not me. Anyways, my baby was born and I had a very healthy baby, a beautiful baby girl that was worth all the pain that I felt. It was worth it in the end. Anyways, that's with the first one. Yeah, guys, on to the second one now. I was more prepared for this one because I had more experience. I was older. My daughter was like 6 years old now. The first one, she turned 6. And I feel like I was ready for this one because I knew what to do now and everything. I had a healthy pregnancy. And there's not much to say about when I was pregnant with her. I wasn't sick, no vomiting, no this, no that. Everything was just good, exceptionally good. Anyways, yeah, guys, bear with me. It's been a while. This one I'm telling you now, she's 26. Had a very good pregnancy. Went to my prenatal clinics, lab works. I followed up everything that they told me to do. I even did ultrasound and they said everything was normal. Anyways, she was due, I think, about July 20th, she was due. But when I went back, in Jamaica, you go to clinic every month until you get down to 1 week. So when I went to my last 1 week clinic now, they said, well, your baby is overdue because she should have been born like since the 20th of July and she's not here. So if she's not born by say the 22nd, I want you to come in on the 22nd and we're gonna induce labor. I said, okay. In my head, whatever is inducing labor, I never did that with the first one. So I prepped myself and I went in on the 22nd because she still didn't come out. When I went in, I was in a room with, like, no jokes, maybe 6 other pregnant moms in the same room, just different beds, and they have little curtains parted off. I'm not lying to you guys. Anyways, I went in. I remember them, what did they do first? They inserted a pill up there and they said every so often they're gonna insert the pill. I don't remember quite how much hours they have to insert the pills, but they said they're gonna do that every so often. Anyways, guys, they inserted about 3 pills at different times of the day. Everybody that was in my room, we were having the same issues, like our baby wouldn't come out. They were inducing labor. I would be there and some people, by the time they push up the pill, those people are in active labor. My pill wasn't doing nothing. After the 3rd pill, still no pain. All I was having like little period cramps. That's all I would feel, and everybody else bawling, whoa, I mean this, I mean that, I mean that. Me, I'm just listening to them because nothing different was happening for me after those pills that they inserted. And a lot of those people that were in the room with me, they were having their babies actually giving birth, because you're giving birth in that same room, guys. So, like about 6 o'clock the evening, they say, no, these pills are not working for you. Nothing is happening. I'm not in no labor. I'm not dilating. I'm not doing nothing. So they said, no, they're going to give me the IV. Okay, guys. Now I'm worried because I said, no, this baby definitely not coming out. That time, I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. The ultrasound didn't show that. They just said everything was good. Anyways, guys, they started me on the IV. Now, the IV now, I could feel a little bit more pain, but not a lot, not too much. Well, anyways, about 10 o'clock that night, by this maybe I had the IV maybe for a couple of hours. I started feeling like, cause guys, back up. You know, when we went in there, they said, take off your underwear. We couldn't have no clothes on. So they told us to take off our underwear. So guys, I remember after a couple hours of me having the IV, guys, I remember feeling like a gush of blood. I was sitting on the bed and I jumped up off the bed quickly. When I jumped up, I've never seen so much blood in my life, guys. Not to gross you out or anything. It was all over the floor. Like a big old gush. It was scary, guys. Anyways, The one doctor saw that, and then when I knew something was really, really wrong now, is when they started calling everybody, which all the attention was on me in that room now, because whatever was going on, I knew that it was bad. They told me, lay down, don't move, don't move. So the doctor came. Doctors, it was a lot of them. I can remember about 6 to 8 doctors and nurses. Anyways, guys, the one doctor came, I guess he was the head one. He's telling them, I have something called placenta previa and a broke placenta. And I said, what's the meaning of that? He said, it means that the placenta broke off, so all that blood I was seeing there was from the placenta. He said that broke off and it left the baby there, so now the baby is not getting oxygen or enough oxygen, so they have to do an emergency C-section on me, like within a short space of time, or else they said the way I'm bleeding, I can die, the baby can die, we both can go. My bleeding was out of control. Anyways, I got scared, but I also started praying. And imagine, guys, you're going through something like this by yourself, because the dad couldn't come in, just like the first one. I didn't have money to go to a private hospital, so I went to the public hospital. Anyways, said we have a certain amount of time to do the surgery on you, or else you can die, or the baby, or you both can die. Anyways, I started praying. I guess they said I have to go on another floor to where they're gonna do the surgery. The theater, the operating room. When we're ready to go there, the elevator is not working. So imagine, guys, I'm hooked up to all kind of machines and monitor for the baby and IV, blood pressure, cough, everything. I'm hooked up to everything, guys. And they said the elevator is not working. They say I have to walk. So imagine me bleeding, they're walking, some holding that thing, some holding this, and I'm walking with the blood running. They say you have to walk to the room where you have to do the surgery, which was like probably the 3rd or the 4th floor, no jokes. So I was going up flights of steps. Anyways, when we went up to the theater, that's what we call it, our operating room, whatever. We finally got up there. They put me in the room, put me on the bed. They said they know they gotta wait on the doctor, because the surgeon, because the one surgeon they had, he went home. So I guess they had to call him to come back. Guys, God was truly, truly on our side. Truly. I proved God so many times, but that time was the first time I really, really proved God. They said the surgeon went home, there wasn't anybody else to do my surgery and this and that, and I guess they had to call him. Anyway, he came. Guys, I don't know nothing more than when I woke up. I don't know when I went to sleep. I don't know nothing. When I woke up, all I can say, I saw my baby right next to me. Again, God has delivered me, or delivered us, because this was the closest I think I came to death. She could have died, I could have died. And I guess, I don't know how this worked to this day. I don't know if the placenta, basically what they were saying, the placenta was not behind the baby. Like basically during my pregnancy, the placenta was in front of the baby. I don't know. If you all understand that term, placenta previa, if you wanna put it in my comment section, because To this day, I don't know what happened. I just know God saved me and saved my baby, and we're here. Anyways, guys, I took off my jean shirt as I was getting hot. So anyways, on to my third pregnancy. So back up a little bit. My daughter was born, the second one. She was healthy. She was born with jaundice again. My kids always come up with jaundice. I don't know why. On to the third one. I'm just gonna try to incorporate the 4 pregnancies in the one video. If I'm boring you to death, guys, comment and let me know. If you wanna see more story times, I'm here. Just let me know what you wanna know. Anyways, my third one, I was in America now. Totally different. Total difference from being in Jamaica. I mean, Jamaica is a poor country, and I know they try, but I also feel as though people get mistreated, especially if you don't have money, if you don't have the funds to go to the big expensive hospital. It's either money, you have the money, or you lose your life, basically. Anyways, when I came here, pregnant with third one, good pregnancy, work up right to my time, and while I was going to my prenatal clinic, the doctors here, they're very different, very careful, and very thorough. They want to know, how did my other pregnancies in Jamaica go? I told them, well, I had 1 vaginal and 1 C-section. They said, well, since you had C-section, we can't just touch you like that. We gotta get your records from your country to see how they gave you the C-section. And I said, they gave me a bikini C-section. They said, no, that's not enough. We need the records from Jamaica to see how they did the C-section. Guys, I was annoyed then, but then it was for my best. I had to have one of my cousins, God rest her soul in peace, she died now. She had to go to this place, Ministry of Health, or wherever they get that stuff, and get my record and send it over here so the doctors here can obtain it before it's time for me to give birth. Anyways, when they realized that I had placenta previa, or I had abrupt placenta, they said it could happen again with my third baby. So they didn't want to run the risk of letting me deliver vaginally. They were gonna think of a C-section again. So I said, okay. So now that was gonna be my second C-section. First one vaginal, second C-section, emergency C-section. This one was a planned C-section because they knew what was gonna happen. They knew it could have happened again, and they didn't wanna pose the risk of, you know, giving it the chance to happen again. So we did it. So I had that one. So that's 3. Had a good C-section, baby was healthy, everything. Number 3. Now on to number 4. Number 4, Kaylee. Final one, Kaylee. Same thing again. Good pregnancy, best care, going to my prenatal clinics. I was going to private doctor then because now I could do so. I could afford to do so. So now, because of my age, I was 42 years old when I had Kaylee. So when I was pregnant, I was like 41 and a half. To my surprise, I didn't know I was gonna have more kids because my doctor had told me previously that I'm premenopausing because of stuff that was happening to me. So I believed him. So me there with my full self, I think say me can't have no more kids because me a premenopause. Boy, when you're ignorant to stuff, you know, it's a big thing, you know, when you're ignorant. Anyways, I misunderstood what the doctor said and me there and not think nothing. But just I say, oh, girl can't get pregnant again. Girl not gonna have more kids. That was far from the truth. Anyways, I conceived Kaylee, and off the back, I was a high risk pregnancy for more than one reason. My age was a factor. I had chronic high blood pressure, and I developed gestational diabetes with Kaylee. So I was high risk. So anyways, to make matters worse, my doctor sent me to do this test where, because of my age, of course, me not act like I was the oldest grandmother, but I was old enough where my kid could be at risk. So they sent me to do some lab works. I was at work one day. I think I was about 4 months pregnant now, or 3. I don't quite remember because it's been a while. Kaylee is 15 years now. So, yeah, the doctor called and said he had bad news for me. I was at work, mind you. He said, your test came back abnormal, where your baby is gonna be born with all kind of birth defects. We don't listen to them though, guys, because they don't name God, and then have the final say. The doctor said to me, your baby is gonna have so much that's wrong with the baby. He said the baby gonna be Down syndrome. The baby are gonna have something called, what is it? I don't know, I don't remember, guys, but all kind of things him said, him a predict, said the baby are gonna have. And he said to me, discuss it with your partner. I don't think you should keep this baby. Guys, I was at work bawling my eyes out. Even though I was that old, I accepted the fact I was pregnant, and I said God had to give me this pregnancy because God made this happen. Because at my age, a lot of people younger than me and can't even conceive. And I said, I accepted the pregnancy, and to hear this now, that the baby is gonna be sick, he said, go home, discuss it with your partner, but I think you should discontinue the pregnancy. I was crying, but I was gonna listen to what the doctor said, because I said, I don't want to bring a baby in this world that's gonna be sick. He said, even if the baby live, the baby gonna die early. And I said, I didn't want to put myself through that trauma. So I agreed with the doctor that, you know what, I think I should just do away with the pregnancy. He said, you need to get rid of that baby. It's not gonna do any good to you. It's gonna die soon. It's gonna have this, that. I went home and I told the dad. He said, I called him on the phone from work crying. He said, wait till you come home, we'll talk about it. When I went home and I told him, I said, the doctor said we should do away with the baby. And he said, I thought he was gonna agree, and said, okay, let's do away with it. He said, no, you're not doing anything to this baby. Tell this doctor you're not doing anything to the baby. We're gonna keep this baby. Whatever this baby is gonna be, it's ours, and we're gonna take care of it. And I started crying, and I said, but if the baby is gonna be sick and then the baby is gonna die, it don't make sense. He said, no, I'll take care of the baby. We keeping this baby. I called the doctor the next day. He was even gonna set up the date for me to do it and everything. If I didn't have this baby daddy that I have, Kaylee wouldn't be here. And he said, tell the doctor we're not doing it. So anyways, I called the doctor the next day. He said we keeping the baby regardless of what's gonna happen to the baby. We keeping it. He said, okay, I'm gonna let you do another test. That's called amniocentesis, something, where they push this long needle from here so to there, so not exaggerate. One long old needle that they push into the sac that the baby is in, I suppose, and they pull liquid, and it's also gonna tell you if it's a boy or a girl. Previously, one ultrasound that I did, I'm backing up a little bit, said I was having a boy. And then a boy, but it's gonna be a sick boy. And then now, he said, well, do the amnio. The amnio is very risky. You can get an infection. You can still miscarry. You can do all of that. I said, I wanna do it. Still wanna do it, because at least, guys, if I'm gonna have a sick baby, I wanna prepare myself mentally for that child. At least I know what's gonna be wrong with my baby already. I didn't wanna wait 9 months to know. So I said, I'll do it. That morning when we went, it's a very expensive test too, guys. In those days, I paid like 1,000 something with insurance, so imagine. But before you do the amnio, they give you like counseling because of all the risks that you could have from that. After they gave me the counseling, by this, me and my baby daddy in the room, they give you the counseling first, then they measure the baby. They do the baby's measurement, because it's on a monitor. You can see everything. After the guy measured up the baby, the head, the this, the that, the guy said, I don't see any issues where your baby is gonna be ill. Your baby look normal to me and growing fine. I don't see anything wrong. Do you still wanna do the test? He said, I wouldn't do it because it's risky. I said, I still wanna do the test just to clear my mind, because guys, I know me. I worry about absolutely everything, and I didn't wanna spend my whole entire pregnancy worrying about my baby. So the guy said, I would advise you not to do it, but if you want to, you can go ahead. My baby daddy said, don't do it. I say, I want to do it. So we stuck to me doing the test. Anyways, they push this long needle, they pull the liquid from the baby, where the baby was at, and they send it to test. It was the longest 2 weeks of wait of my life. That test took so long to come back. Remember, the doctor already told me the baby is sick from the previous blood work. So in my head, I still think I had a sick baby inside of me, only that now I'm gonna know actually what the baby has. Guys, I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. No results. No calls from nobody. Nobody called me back to tell me anything. Anyways, it was time for me to go back to my checkup again. When I went, the doctor said, I said, I didn't get no results. And he said, you didn't get any result? Nobody called you? And I said, no. And he made a call to those people. And when he came, I don't know, I could not hear what the person was saying, but I knew that when he came off the phone, he said, he shook our hands and he said, congratulations, your baby is perfectly fine. Nothing is wrong with the baby. The baby is healthy. Okay? Who could that be but God? And guys, I was gonna listen to this doctor. That's why sometimes in life, whether it's pregnancy or a health issue or whatever it is, of course you have to seek God. Of course you have to pray to God. But also, get another opinion, get other opinions from other doctors, because if I had listened to this doctor, my baby wouldn't be here. I would get rid of it. I don't like to use that word, but that's exactly what it was gonna be. Anyways, my baby was fine. I think by then I was about 5 months, but then of course now I'm high risk because of all the issues I told you, the blood pressure, the diabetes, the age, everything. I had to go to the clinic like every week. Of course they're gonna do that C-section again, because just like they did with Tiana, they said it could happen again. So I already was gonna have a C-section. So I think, I don't remember if it was when I got to 6 months, they started telling me I had to go for steroids because they're preparing the baby's lungs. They're giving me steroids so it can at the same time work on the baby's lungs in case when they're ready to do the C-section, or if anything, because I'm high risk and it decides to come early, the lungs will be matured. But I don't quite remember what month it was when they started giving me the steroids. But I remember one day, it wasn't time for me to give birth yet. I think I was about 6 months now. I don't remember when they started. Guys, I don't want to lie. I don't want to say something I don't remember. But it wasn't time for me to give birth yet. But I had already started taking the steroids. So one day I went for the steroids, and then I was gonna come to work for second shift for 3 o'clock. Baby daddy and my sister took me to the hospital to get the test done and then to go to work. But the tests kind of take a little bit long. It's kind of time consuming, whatever they were doing. So anyways, I went and they gave me the steroids, and I was laying there because I guess the doctor didn't want me to just leave right away. I guess you have to wait for 1 hour. So while I was laying in the bed waiting for 1 hour now to come for me to go to work, the nurse came to me, because I guess she was watching me on the monitor. The nurse was watching me on the monitor. She said, "Michelle, are you having pain?" And I said, "No." By this, guys, no time for me have baby yet, Me have like another probably 2 months or so to go, or 2.5, somewhere around there. She said, "Are you in pain?" And I said, "No." She said, "Let me call the doctor back to come back." And the doctor came and they examined me, and he said, "You're not having any pain because it's showing that you're having contractions on the monitor." I said, "I'm fine, I'm not feeling nothing." He said, "We're gonna watch you for another hour before you can go to work." I said, "Okay." I lay down for another hour. The doctor came back. He said, "I don't think you're going home tonight. I think the baby is trying to come." I said, "Okay." He said, "Just tell your husband to bring your stuff and come back. You're not going home. The baby, we're gonna take the baby. We're not gonna wait for the baby to come." That time, guys, I'm so scared. I wasn't ready, wasn't prepared. Never done prepare yet, cause didn't even have a baby shower yet. That's how early it was. And I called him and I said, "Oh my God, the doctor said come back to the hospital. I'm not going to work. Bring the stuff." And he said, "What? What do you mean bring the stuff? It's not time for the baby." I said, "Well, the baby is trying to come." And him along with my sister, they came back with my stuff, and I had to call up my job and say, "I can't come to work. You have to fill the shift. I'm into labor. I'm going into labor." Scary, because I still wasn't ready. Anyways, and then I was also thinking if the baby was gonna make it, because it wasn't time yet for her. But I also was happy in a way that I had started the steroids, because I knew that was gonna help the baby's lungs. So anyways, they hurry up and they came back, and like about 2 hours or so after that, they took the baby. I told them I didn't want to go to sleep. They gave me the epidural, everything. Baby came. Healthy baby. I'm going to say healthy baby, but just tiny. Real tiny. She was, what, 5 pounds? Everything good. Baby was healthy, just tiny. Had good lungs, of course, because of the steroids I was taking. And that's my story. Guys, I'm grateful for my kids. Very grateful. Because a lot of people out there, they have money and they don't have kids. It's not easy for them to conceive. Life might be rough sometimes, but I appreciate my children. So I just wanted to share my stories with you guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. I hope what we talked about could help somebody in some way, because we're never too old to learn. I'm still learning. So, and a lot of this I didn't know if I didn't live it, if it didn't happen to me. So I'm grateful for my kids, and I'm very grateful that after I gave birth to my last one, the diabetes didn't stay with me. It went away. And at my age, knock on wood, I'm still diabetes free. So guys, I thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm struggling to reach my 10K, but I know with God's help, I am gonna get there. I remember when I was at 1 subscriber, till I got to 10, till I got to 100, and now I'm like, what? Maybe about 600 away from 10K, and I know with God's help, I am gonna get there. Guys, if you all could give me some ideas on videos to do, I sure will appreciate it. So guys, love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and if you don't want to see more story time, tell me. Okay guys, love you. See you all in the next video. Mwah.